Does the color of the sky mean anything special to you? It does to me. A hell of a lot. When I close my eyes, the sky in my dreams is a deep, dark blue. Pilots have been in my family for 4 generations. Flying's in my DNA. Even so, my grandpa didn't want me joining the Air Force. He lost faith in the Ocean Air Defense the day my dad died in battle.
You know, Abby, I wish you could see what it's like up there. Cruising above the clouds, the dark blue of the stratosphere. Nothing beats being at the controls and seeing it from the cockpit. Look here.
Gramps tossed a magazine over to me with an article. Unmanned fighters are no longer a dream, it read. Pilots taking to the skies will soon be a distant memory.
I don't see anything good coming from that.
Know what? Lying smack dab in the middle of the desert west of here, there's a bunch of planes from the last war. Some of them have been mothballed, but most of them are just rusted piles of junk waiting to be scrapped. Gramps was really good friends with the super there, so he got to take whatever he wanted, no questions asked. That's how we got the parts to build our own plane. Now, when I say we, I mean me, my grandpa, and his old war buddies. I cut my teeth working with those geezers. They taught me their skills and some dirty jokes. But with their aging eyeballs and whatnot, I ended up having to do most of the work myself. I was at the airstrip doing some flight training when I saw it. A prototype drone. It wasn't much of a plane, more of a trash can with wings.
Laugh at it all you want, kid. But technology's always changing. If you don't keep up with it, it'll leave your ass behind.
It took 6 years and 8 months to get that engine running. And it took us another 1.5 years after that to finally get the balance of the airframe just right. I'd gone from being a little girl to, well, still a girl, just older. But now, I was all alone. Wherever the souls of my Gramps and his pals are flying, I hope it's peaceful. Then, finally, I was ready to break the sound barrier. All this plane could do was take off, accelerate, and fly up. So, I flew up, straight up, through the clouds, higher into the sky. Dark blue. I could almost touch it. Then I saw Osia's fighters. They were tailing something. A drone. They were going full out chasing that thing. Doing 30 Gs at least. Damn, I've never seen anything move that fast. It had a rose painted on it. The Erusian emblem. But that country's a whole continent away from here.
Right. You should have been wearing a vest with you, piece of junk. Should have built a return too.
As of 1 p.m. today, the Kingdom of Erusia has declared war on the Ocean Federation. As soon as the news broke out, enemy aircraft began bombing Ocean territory, causing widespread destruction. The Air Defense Force has released a statement saying this violent attack was carried out by drones. They speculate the drones were secretly transported to Osea in shipping containers and launched remotely. The Secretary of the Navy has stated that the enemy was targeting naval ports across the country. According to the Secretary, all of the nation's aircraft carriers, including one still under construction, sustained severe damage in the attacks. We have yet to hear back from the department as to the fate of ocean carriers currently at sea. Hold on, I've just received breaking news. The International Space Elevator, which is being built in southern Usea, has been seized by the Erusian Army. Reports say former President Harling was touring the site at the time, but his current whereabouts are unknown. Our sources in government tell us it was Harling's policies regarding the space elevator that caused economic frictions in the area, and which ultimately led to this war. Located near Erusia, on the continent of Usea, the space elevator has been under construction for some time now. The Executive Office of the Ocean Federation has declared a national state of emergency. They have ordered all its armed forces, including Usian peacekeepers, to mobilize and make the necessary preparations to launch an immediate counterattack. Ladies and gentlemen, our country is officially at war. Stay tuned for further updates.
Breaking news from ENN. Osea launched an attack on the capital today, striking Farbanti from their aircraft carrier, the Kestrel II. After a brutal battle, the Erusian Air Force successfully repelled them. During the air raid, the Ocean Air Force fired missiles at the city and managed to shoot down a number of Erusian fighters. Some of the disabled planes then crashed into residential areas.
The world was screwed. 20 years ago, the Earth got slammed by an asteroid. Usea was on the wrong side of the planet and got hit. Hard. Refugees swarmed the Erusian Republic, the biggest country on the continent, plunging it into chaos. They were desperate and started a war, one they had no hope of winning. That's the war my dad fought and died in. The biggest nations from 2 continents went head-to-head, and the so-called righteous Oceans struck the deal that ended it. They fancied themselves the only nation that could bring peace and stability to the world. They even tried saving the Usians, still suffering from the disaster. That's how a space elevator, stretching way up into the sky, ended up being built in Usea, paid for by the Oceans. President Harling said he did it out of compassion for his fellow humans. But to the folks in Erusia, it looked like Osea was moving in to take over. Erusia went from being a republic back to being a kingdom. When they started this new war, they managed to get the drop on everyone.
As of 1 p.m. today,
The second the declaration hit the news, Erusian forces took control of the space elevator without spilling a single drop of blood. President Harling was touring the elevator when it happened and disappeared. Then, while that was going on, the Erusian ships that were docked all around Osea released a swarm of drone fighters they had hidden on board in containers. No one thought they were capable of doing what they did that day. With pinpoint accuracy, they managed to take out everything that was military, and not a single civilian was hurt in the process. Osea pissed lots of people off with their huge military presence around the world. Erusia didn't have the same reach, but they could hit their targets faster and cleaner. And when all this was going down, I just so happened to be in my flying drag racer. In case you were wondering, yeah, I survived. I crashed in a bombed-out Ocean Air Force base, then got arrested for breaking wartime aviation laws or some crap. The world went from being at peace to being at war, all in the blink of an eye.
I'm Princess Rosa Cassette Delise of the Kingdom of Erusia. Today, Ocean airstrikes have shattered the lives of countless Erusians. Their attacks practically leveled the school I went to. It is heartbreaking. Tragic.
I was tried, found guilty, and stuffed into a cargo ship. For company, I had some court-martialed soldiers. And remember those mothballed planes I told you about before? They were loaded on the ship, too. We headed off down south for several days, and then swung east. That's how I got here. I was thousands of kilometers from Erusia on the opposite side of the Yuzian continent. For a port, it was dull as hell. It had 3 rusty patrol boats, and the base? The fences were topped with razor wire, the tower had a searchlight and machine guns, and a truck with a gun turret was parked in front of the gate. Its gun was aimed at the yard. This was a prison. This place looked like a full-on base, but half the tanker trucks were just big balloons, and the runways weren't even paved, just painted on the dirt. The whole place was just one big fat lie. The only reason I was here is because they knew I'd restored a supersonic plane. They wanted me to make something out of the mothballed planes they brought, that they could park on the fake runway. Can you believe that shit? So, I tried to escape. They found out, and set the dogs on me.
Radar shows no sign of bandits. You're in the clear.
I haven't even broken a sweat.
Seems to be crazy to pick a fight with us. A rabid dog would know better.
Missile incoming! Evade! Break! Break!
What the hell?
Caution! Missile!
Caution! A large aircraft is approaching. All aircraft, stay alert. We just learned that Erusia is utilizing the arsenal bird. Those bastards. They had that thing combat ready this whole time.
Enemy has a radar lock.
Skeleton 1. What do we do about that monster?
We're just waiting for mission command.
Gonna live through this, Trigger. These guys are definitely a step above the last drones.
Damn, they're agile. And there's too many of them.
These guys will go down easy.
Break! Now!
All aircraft, no change in game plan.
Enemy on my system.
Destroy the arsenal bird.
What's this, that thing? God help us. It's hard enough just keeping up with the drones.
Golem Squadron, take out Big Baby Huey.
I can't get a read on these bandits. They're dodging everything I throw at them.
Look at that light from the arsenal bird. What's going on here?
Golem 3, Force 2, pick 'em.
Missile away.
I'm spiked.
These bandits are fast as hell.
Damn. Skeleton 1 lost. Skeleton 2, take over command.
Gargoyle Squadron, this is Gargoyle 1. Skeleton Squadron needs help. The hell are we supposed to do?
Status?
Verifying the situation.
Golem 2, you got a UAV headed right for you.
Golem 2, roger that.
Golem 2, missile, evade!
Evading!
This is Golem 3, Golem 2's hit! Status report. Shit, Golem 2, do you copy?
This is Golem 2. Instruments still appear to be functioning okay.
Focus your fire, Golem
Skeleton
Squadron.
3, break! Break! We lost another friendly!
Skeleton 3's lost.
They just keep coming. What's the plan?
Where's that report? Continue to maintain air superiority.
HQ, what's happening?
Skykeeper, I repeat, maintain air superiority.
How'd that happen?
What the hell? Caution. All aircraft, stay alert.
Get out of there!
Breaking!
Evade! Control through. I'm breaking up!
Skeleton 2 lost.
We got incoming!
Skeleton Squadron is down. We've had too many losses. All squadrons, command has ordered a complete withdrawal. Leave the operation area immediately.
Brilliant observation. If they knew this earlier, more of us would have survived to hear it.
Save your chatter for the debriefing. Golem and Mage Squadron, give our allies some time to escape.
Woke up, but Golem 2's hit. Gotta send her back. Let's get dirty, Trigger.
Shoot down those UAVs. Don't let them touch any friendlies.
Golem 2, head back to base.
Gargoyle 1, escort Golem 2.
continuing the mission. Still got my wings. Trigger doesn't need to fill in for me. I'm back and
You won't make any difference up here. Get back to base and cool your head.
Copy that. Returning home.
Don't think, focus.
Mage 2, missile launch. Mage Squadron, you're going toe-to-toe with the UAVs. Good work. Retreating aircraft, leave the AO. Allies will hold off pursuit. Golem Squadron, Mage Squadron, hang in there and come back safe.
That's it, Trigger. They're machines. Don't show them any mercy. This is getting a little tight. Caution, hostile under radar lock.
Mage 2, UAV down.
This is Mage 1. I'm spiked.
More UAVs spotted. Gargoyle Squadron, they might cut off your retreat.
My status is fine. Affirmative.
This is Gargoyle 1. Leaving Operation Airspace with Column 2.
Retreating aircrafts, prepare for combat. It's a bogey. Gargoyle 1, Golem 2, engage now. Attack.
One bandage. SU-30.
Gargoyle 1. Caution! Missile!
Fast. It's like he...
Skykeeper. Gargoyle 1 lost.
What the hell? Golem 2, status report. Just talk to me.
I'm against an SU-30. Orange wingtips. I can't shake it off. It's matching me move for move.
Golem 2, stop dogfighting and run. Yowza.
Bandit destroyed.
This is where we lost.
That a boy, Mage 2. Just keep firing. That's it, baby. Come to Poppy.
Fox 2.
Column and Maze Squadron, help us.
Get those UAVs off of friends.
Let Column and Maze Squadrons handle it. They'll pull through.
Get your asses out.
The longer it takes, the worse our odds of getting out of here are. Machines don't get tired.
Mage 2, UAV down. Keep it up, buddy.
Fortress aircraft. We'll let you take it easy next time.
I'm dead meat. I don't get it. Why isn't it opening fire? I'm scared. I'm scared.
This is not good. Brownie, break off.
Does Maze Squadron still have their hot shot? Then we just might make it
Not
out.
on my watch.
Don't look back, just have faith. Column and Maze, we owe you a debt.
Target was not struck. Got allies hit. Golem and Mage, move in to provide support.
Let's move. They're ours. Hell of a good job, Mage 2. We want as many guys out here as possible.
I'm grateful you're around.
Golem 2, what's your status? Status report.
He's a predator. The weak get eaten.
Column 2, get a hold of yourself. Column 2, get away from the enemy.
Mage 2! Support! Somebody! Support!
Golem 2, lost.
Shit. Skykeeper, where's the one that got Brownie?
Afraid he's long gone by now. Sorry. All UAVs have been splashed.
I said what I had to say. About what? Not a girl who'd retreat. Just not in her DNA.
That was the right decision at the time.
No, I should have never let a fledgling like her out of my reach to begin with.
Golem Squadron, Maid Squadron, withdraw.
Here he comes. Mihai's looking worse. Thank God he has his granddaughters here to help him out. They're sisters, 15 and 10. Engaging the enemy in combat so we could use his physiological data to improve the drones had always taken a toll on Mihai's body. But today, he was really showing his age. The drones we based on his data were being taken down at a faster rate now compared to when the war began. When Mihai found that out, he insisted on flying to the front lines to see it for himself. Sometimes he could be so stubborn. His age wasn't the only thing affecting his health. Over the years, flying at high altitudes for prolonged stretches of time had ravaged and poisoned his body. But he was a man of grit. Today, after 28 years, he saw combat again. If his flight suit still wasn't good enough to protect him, I can't imagine how many Gs he hit today during the battle. As a pilot, he exceeds all our expectations. It's going to take a bit more tweaking before our drones can match his skill.
How penal is this penal unit, you ask? This place is a shithole. If you took the stink of all the corruption in the world, then corralled it all in one place, that would give you a pretty good idea of what the air smells like around here. We got all kinds of critters, too. Everything from flea-ridden guards, rabid dogs, and a mechanic doing the stretch for life. I can't forget the rats. Yeah, we got those. And some pilots who got their wings clipped, too. One's a great pilot, but a lousy thief. One's a gambler with no luck. And one's an anarchist with no balls. Their job here was to rev the engines on the fake runways. The idea was for Aruja's spy satellite to pick up the heat sig. Even though there weren't any real fighters here, it looked like it on their infrared. I bet you're wondering, if Aruja lost the war, how come they still have a spy satellite? 'Cause someone over there was smart enough to train a bunch of computer nerds to hack into half of Osia's satellites. That's how come. Every now and again, I'd try to bust out. And every single time, those damn dogs would drag me right back. When I was in my cell, I'd hear this voice coming from the guards room. It was the Erusian princess rallying her people on the Erusian national broadcast. All us prisoners had become big fans of hers. You want to hear something funny? The guards were big fans too. I swear to God, every time she was on the air, they'd turn up the volume on the radio and sit there listening. I could see how someone like her could win the hearts and minds of soldiers and workers alike. When the princess said something, you could tell she meant every word. Lately, she'd been having more fun with her speeches, and that made her seem even more charming. You could say her charm was like a virus. Whenever she'd point out stuff that was wrong with Osia, the prisoners in here went nuts. Hell, if anyone knew how messed up Osia was, it was the prisoners. They'd shout, "Burn Osia down." No way am I just gonna sit here and rot away in this hellhole. Dark blue. Instead of building fake-ass planes to trick Aruja, I'm gonna build one that'll really take off. You can count on that.
Skykeeper, what the hell was that?
Gargoyle did their job.
Figures, but why weren't we informed? The IUN can't coordinate between branches as usual. Gargoyle Squadron, report.
HQ, one hit was scored. The rest were intercepted by UAVs. The elevator's windbreak took a scratch. Nothing more.
Roger. Continue to maintain air superiority. Mother Goose 1 hit.
Mother Goose 1 has been hit. Colonel Johnson, respond. Mage Squadron, assess the situation.
This is Mage 1. I have Mother Goose 1 in my sight. The cabin's fine, but the cockpit's not looking so good.
Colonel Johnson, are you okay?
Don't worry about that. Just send help this way. I'm sorry. Get Mr. Harling. Please.
Mother Goose 1, respond. Mother Goose 1.
Skykeeper, should we continue providing cover for Mother Goose 1?
Of course.
Column 3, Fox 2.
Mother Goose 1 is turning. What's going on? They're heading to the space elevator.
It's flying at a steady altitude. Who's in control?
It's not the Colonel. Mr. Harling's the only one on board. Mother Goose 1, respond! Mr. Harling, please respond.
We can't protect our objective if it sticks around here. Now's not the time to freak out, fellas. We've still got a job to do, so let's do it. Keep your mind focused.
Mr. Harling, we are not giving up on you. The UAVs are approaching Mother Goose 1.
Let's go, Trigger.
Take him down now, Mage Squadron. 1 minute remaining. Mother Goose 1, turn 180 degrees and exit combat airspace. Mother Goose 1, Mr. Harlan, are you piloting that plane?
Arsenal Bird Liberty, passing waypoint 2.
The UAVs are continuing their attack.
They're obsessed with that transport.
UAVs launched from Arsenal Bird Liberty, headed toward the AO.
The former president still alive?
Make two!
Oh my god, Mother Goose 1 has been shot down.
Where'd the missile come from?
Mage 2 fired that.
It was Ocean. A friendly missile hit him.
Verifying the situation. Stop speculating.
Friendly fire! I saw it!
Mother Goose 1 exploded in air. No one could have survived.
Looks like it tried to protect the elevator. The Rusian bastards, they just killed a hero.
Mage 1. Was it Trigger? Trigger was the closest. UAVs were crawling all over our objective. I told you to keep a goddamn eye on the hatchway. It must have been a mistake.
Arsenal Bird is entering. All aircraft withdraw immediately. Trigger, you can't fly for a while. You understand?
Bad news for us here at the prison. The enemy fell for our decoy base. With all the fake planes and trucks we had out, it must have looked to them like the Ocean Air Force was about to go on the attack. Day after day after day after day, they bombed us. Osea didn't give a damn. We weren't soldiers to them, so go ahead. Bomb us. In their eyes, we were expendable. Worth less than the fake planes in the bunkers. No biggie. While I made fake planes, they had me put together some working ones. Then, some genius at HQ decided we should send it up, so the base looked legit. Thankfully, we had people to crew them. It didn't matter what we were locked up here for anymore. Top brass needed pilots, and criminals were all they had. A crook, a gambler, an anarchist. Just your typical lowlifes. They threw each one of them in a cockpit and sent them up to intercept the enemy's planes. But in the end, it was all just for show. So, up they went, day after day after day. Today they tossed someone new into the mix. Wonder what he did to get sent here. My dad died flying for the Ocean Air Force. When your allies are surrounded, one of the most dangerous missions is giving them cover to retreat. Whoever signed up for that was a real hero. But even more dangerous than that was being the one who had to cover the rear guard's retreat. That was my dad's job, and one time, he called it off. Said it was too late for him. Said anyone else would have done the same. I found that out from a war buddy of his when he came to tell me how my dad died. The next time a retreat happened, my dad volunteered to be in the rear guard. Dumbass. He died all right. No one came to help. The news nearly broke me. Of all the ways to get killed, that's gotta be the most pathetic one ever. Am I right? There's a rumor going around about another inmate. A guy they brought here a little while ago. Get this, talk in the cell block says he was sent here because he killed Harling, the president of Osea during the last war, remember? He's the one that sent my dad on that suicide mission. He's the reason I had to go live with my grandpa, and why me and Gramps started building a supersonic jet. He's the reason I ended up here. Maybe I should give that guy a thank you note for killing him. Nah. God, I hate the smell of this place. It's all fake and lies and bullshit. It reeks.
Mihai's granddaughters liked to keep to themselves mostly. They were well behaved and possessed a sort of quiet elegance. From time to time, I'd catch myself looking at them, wondering what they were talking about. I'm sure everyone on the base did the same. They were such enthralling creatures. Every night, a crowd would gather around Mihai. They were the men tasked with guarding him in the air. Their jackets all bore the same patch, a relic from a nation that was long gone. Decades ago, during the Age of Expansion, the Kingdom of Erusia absorbed many countries. Theirs was one of them. Mihai asked them,
"Yet what is a nation? Can we actually see the physical lines that divide one from another?"
People of my generation can no longer speak the language of our homeland. My grandparents always look sad when they see I have no idea what they're saying to me.
Mihai didn't say a word after that. His scarred face betrayed no emotion. He didn't get those scars from flying, though. Mihai was originally from Shalaji. His real name is Mihai Dumitru Margarita Corneliu Leopold Blanca Carol Aeon Ignatius Raphael Maria Nikitas A. Shalaji. When he was young, he was the heir to the Grand Duchy of Shalaji. Then, revolution broke out among his people. Mihai was betrayed by a close friend who pointed a gun at his face and pulled the trigger. The revolution was successful, but the new country that sprang from it was annexed by the expanding Kingdom of Erusia. The Erusian royal family allowed Mihai's family to retain their title and noble standing in the new kingdom. But Mihai surprised them all by signing up for the draft like an ordinary Erusian citizen. He was then accepted into the Air Force Academy by order of the king. Mihai soon became an ace pilot. When the royal family was ousted and Erusia became a republic, he continued his service for the new regime. Test sites soon flourished. One day, a classmate of Mihai's granddaughter visited. I noticed the rose emblem. She laughed like a princess, and I found out later she was indeed the daughter of Erusia's new ruler. She was the connection to the royal bloodline everyone was looking for, the one to restore the monarchy. This new princess was truly a godsend for the Erusian people. If Mihai's granddaughters were like the moon, she was like the sun, around which everything seemed to orbit. Her face was so expressive. It's no wonder the people of this war-torn country instantly felt at ease when they saw her speeches. They started singing. The pilots of the support plane smiled, even though they wished their nation were independent from hers. Angelic. I wonder how Mihai felt about all of this. It was my job to research his neurological data, after all. I wish I could figure him out. Whatever his feelings were about losing his homeland, he kept hidden, even from me.
Cyclops 1 is breaking off. He could have broken off any time if he was by himself. Spare 15. All UAVs in the vicinity confirmed destroyed.
Nice teamwork. Thanks. Who is that? Tell him I'm grateful.
Copy that, Cyclops 1. Spare squadron. Mission is complete. Return to base. Wait a minute. Hold it.
Oh, give me a break. You have more chores for us?
Spare 8, champ. Bogey approaching fast from the rear. All available units support Spare 8.
I don't need any support. This is all mine. Damn it. He's glued to my tail. Still not firing. I ain't afraid of it. Spare 8, no dogfighting. Negative. I'm not letting this slide. Woohoo! Sooner. I want to understand the enemy. Yeah, shot down Champ. He was toying with him.
Spare 10 lost. Another one. One recon aircraft lost. What's with this guy? That's an Su-30. All Spare Squadron aircraft provide support for Cyclops and Strider. Keep the bandit off of them.
Negative. That's not possible.
Get in there with that monster, Spare 15. We're gonna lose more friendlies.
You told us our jobs are done. I'm going home.
Why is some of 444's craft flying out of bounds?
Those damn cowards bailing on us?
I just sent back the damaged craft. We only need guys we can use. Spare 15, Spare 11, from an element to take up the rear.
Forget it.
Trigger's taking the beast head on. You two deal with support.
So this is where Tabloid bows out. Shit. Roger that. Will do. This is from Sol 3. They've got 2 rear guard. The benefit's mine. Copy that, King. Don't call me that. I'm in position.
Missile.
Behind you, Sol 3.
Missile.
You see that color? The way he's flying? It's Mr. X for sure. The pilot of the experimental squadron's X-plane.
Wiseman, we don't want to mess with this guy. It's clear by the way he flies. Way out of my league.
Exactly the man we didn't want to run into. Jaeger, if it comes down to it, we'll act as a shield. Just get my guys out of here. Understood.
Telling me there's only 2 craft taking on the orange guy?
No, just one's taking them on.
No way. I wouldn't last a minute.
Lucian, do not engage. If he gets close, just run.
Copy that. Was gonna do that anyway.
Isn't it? Is he down? No, he managed to take it in a non-critical area. I'll teach you how to do that when we get back.
Hostile has a lock. Spare 15, launching missile.
Fox 2.
Hostile has a lock. Watch out for ice while you're in there.
I have a lock.
Nice. Bandit hit. Spare 15 got him.
SOAR 1, please respond. What's your status? My status? Well, I'm feeling a little excited.
Go get him. Bandits in the clouds. Chase them down. You've got this. Locked on target. Almost out of special weaponry.
I'm hit. SOAR 1, moving to assist. Your job's an awful mine. SOAR 1, this is SOAR 2. My status is fine. Do not interfere. SOAR 1, clouds are moving in. Let's return to base. Affirmative.
Bandit is retreating. He managed to survive somehow.
Trigger, kindness gets you killed.
Hey, guard dog. Who's the guy who worked his ass off at the rear?
The biggest dumbass in the unit.
Makes sense. An idiot would be brave enough to pull off those moves.
I'll guide you back to Air Force Base 444, though I doubt you have enough gas to make it.
Appreciate the help. Will I be at the base?
I wouldn't get involved if I were you.
The crew said the enemy had one mean son of a bitch flying for him. Our team had a few Air Force hot dogs, real experienced pilots. But this guy swooped in like a hawk, locked on, and took them all out in the blink of an eye. Reminds me of a story Gramps told me once. He said a little while before he retired from active duty, he saw an enemy fighter wipe out an entire formation right in front of him. It was like seeing how a shark works when it's going after its dinner. This enemy pilot stalked Gramps' pals from below, just like how a shark would. Then one by one, he put the bite on them. Sounds like what happened to our guys today. Kinda surprised so many made it back alive. I bet when they saw what was going on, they broke formation and left their buddies to the shark. Hang on. There's 3 extra planes here. They're foreigners too. I had a chance to talk to one of the pilots that escaped back here, so I took it. Apparently, 2 of our planes took the enemy on alone. They covered the Allies so they could retreat. The hell kind of idiot does a thing like that? The last pilot to land back at the base was that scrawny anarchist dude. He always had this dumb grin on his face, like he didn't give a damn about whatever he did to get thrown in here with the rest of us. Was he the one who went gung-ho? I bought him a drink later. After the usual small talk, I turned the topic around to the mission. For an anarchist, he struck me as a bit weird. Nothing like what I expected. He talked a mile a minute and kept going on and on about library books. Not encyclopedias, those cheesy adventure novels you read in high school. Nothing against those. I like a good story myself once in a while. But I wasn't here to talk books.
I remember that day well. Amidst the swirling clouds, the fighter squadron was trying to help its allies reach safety.
He's pretty foolish, isn't he?
I thought so too. Suddenly, a highly skilled enemy fighter squadron appeared and began picking them off at the edges. One by one, they fell right out of the sky.
Although, I guess there was nobody around that was even more foolish to go to their aid then. So you simply watch things unfold from a distance.
Yeah. I mean, who would have ever thought that I'd just go and follow him straight into the enemy squadron like that?
After what felt like decades, I finally got to the info I was looking for. He wasn't the guy. He said he was just following his wingman's lead and managed not to die somehow. The hero on this mission was the new guy. The one that killed Harling. How did you feel?
I'm still kind of shaken up, actually. But you know, I do feel a certain sense of pride, too.
He really is foolish, isn't he?
Yep, he sure is.
I went to the hangar to have myself a closer look at Trigger's plane. I knew that burnt smell. That's what happens when an engine's been driven to its limit. This pilot was a hot dog. From now on, I was gonna keep my eye on this idiot. From a distance, though. I didn't want to get too tight with someone who was a better pilot than my dad. Even so, I decided to give this guy's plane a little bit of the old Avril magic touch. He needed all the help he could get.
Nobody told me there was this many nearby. Incoming Allied fighters. Respond.
The regular forces don't want anything to do with the penal base.
Hey, they have radar lock.
The IFF says they're allies. Missile. Whoa, time out. Don't tell me they're barrier troops. Someone's on me. Is he an enemy? Evade!
Ocean fighters do not attack. Shit. These guys aren't allies.
Are they spoofing our IFF?
Modern IFF connects to our strategic system via satellites. It can't be decoded.
What the hell?
Hey, the enemy's working in coordination. How do they know? Information regarding IFFs is top secret. There's no way they can make a fake. What about markings and craft type?
There's no time.
At this rate, no one's going to get out alive. All aircraft head into the clouds. Get out of the enemy's sight.
And then what? Who's on my tail? Is it an enemy?
This is close combat. I don't know who's on whose team.
All aircraft, gather around me. I mean Trigger. What? Bandog, can you register Trigger and the blips around him as friendlies?
What are you thinking? What good is that?
What other choice do we have?
Sure.
All right, all aircraft, form up on Trigger, nice and tight. Bandog, it's on you.
Full band, what's your location?
The
Understood. I've sent new ID data. Enemies will be marked as enemies.
Yeah, my radar display's been updated.
Shoot them all down.
On them!
No way I'm dying out here.
This is the penal unit. I decide when you die.
Shit! Cal, land it on your 6! Let me just slide in there.
Projectile incoming.
Too close to the radar.
Tell us what's happening. Come on!
God damn it, not right now!
That doesn't sound good.
Air contact incoming at high speed. It's too fast to be an aircraft.
It's not an aircraft. What is it?
What do we do? What's going on?
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here it comes.
Son of a bitch!
That shockwave!
My aircraft's gonna break up!
Huh? Incoming transmission from HQ. Their weapon is codenamed Helios. It's a long-range missile carried by Arsenal birds.
Arsenal birds?
Why are they aiming for us?
Sending over the predicted impact zone. It's coming in hot.
Damn, you're working quick today, Band Dog.
Get too chatty and you'll die. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Don't get caught!
How can they fire like that when they've got allies in the airspace? Don't they care about the pilots?
Half of the targets remaining.
I need help! I'm on it.
Trigger, they have a lock on you.
Projectile on radar.
Watch your radar. I can't find a way out.
Nowhere to run.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Not enough distance! They got me. Come
I
on!
felt the shockwave this far from the impact zone.
Play along, Trigger.
There are a few targets remaining. Concentrate. Shoot down remaining hostiles. Damn. Helios inbound.
Evading!
I can! Help!
Helios incoming.
Where'd the attack come from? They're hitting us while out of our attack range.
Yeah! Keep killing him!
Spare 3, bandit on your tail.
Another projectile incoming. It's a Helios again.
Warning, missile in the air.
Why does it have to be me?
Nearly there.
Where's the order to retreat? We're 10 feet out here. Leave it to me.
Careful! No more friendly fire, guys!
I'm not checking out yet.
Helios spotted.
We killed them fire! I can take a missile or two, no problem!
Impact, now!
How was I doing something like that? Retreat! They got me!
Count. 1 to go. Go get him.
1 to go. Where is it?
Count.
Rhino, this is it. All right, I got the last one.
Oh, yeah! You like that, you dirty freak?
Damn it! God damn it! Why is this? What? Full band?
What the hell? Full band's down! Friendly fire? Didn't we get all the bandits?
plane got tagged as an enemy.
What?
You did that on purpose, Bandog.
Did what?
Don't play dumb. Full ban.
It was an accident. It got out of control. Return to base.
Son of a bitch!
Suddenly, we were being treated like a regular unit. We've been ordered to pack everything up and move the base further inland. We even got a transport plane. The funny thing is, no one here remembers I've got a bum leg and, oh, that I'm not a soldier. Take a look at the map. There's an island on the other side of Usea our Marines landed on. The space elevator's not too far from there. They tell us the airfield's being used as a base to support the elevator. Not sure if I trust that intel. Anyway, the transport plane's gonna drop us there, without any fighters to cover us. Some genius thought we could commandeer the enemy's jets they left in the hangars, and use those to fight. Y'all aren't real soldiers, they said. Any other day we'd be using you lowlifes to go out and dig up landmines. And prisoners don't get guns. You'll just have to make do with whatever we give you and like it. A phone. They don't let us prisoners near them. But with all the hustle and bustle of moving the base, they forgot to lock this one up. Looks like an antique. I lost my right for a phone call ever since I was arrested and locked up. It's trippy to think that I can just hook it up, dial a number, and talk to someone from my own country. Planning escapes ain't all I'm good at. I'm plenty good at remembering phone numbers, too. A little while later, I headed over to HQ. You must know.
We did get a call direct from command. That pipe, what exactly are you doing with it?
My grandfather had a lot of friends in the Air Force from his time as a lieutenant. My point? Well, you're going to set out in your own special aircraft. Then you'll send everybody else off in the wrong direction while you head somewhere else.
All right, fine. But just you and you alone. You're the only one allowed on board. Besides, there's only one seat left.
I said cool. That's exactly what I wanted to hear. So the liaison plane left without me. Yeah, I know. I'm heading into hell. Whatever. If the Khan's here and the dumbass prison guards are going, why shouldn't I? I'm no angel. I mean, my old man died playing hero, and all I do is hate him for it. It ain't gonna be a picnic, that's for sure. Adios, you damn fool.
The order is simple. Kill anyone trying to kill the commander, even if they're one of us.
Like how you killed Full Band?
It was an accident, so shut up.
Give me that. I'll do the talking. This is Base Commander McKinsey. I want you idiots to understand the gravity of this operation. My orders take priority. That's it.
Sure wish our cargo would shut up. The enemy's using anti-air weapons. Don't freak out. Keep your shit together.
Be on the lookout for camouflage SAM sites. Seek and destroy.
Fire and support. We'll deal with the big one later.
SAM site confirmed. Down. Stay alert. Rover 1 is taking enemy fire. Respond immediately.
Bandog, locate all SAM sites. Make sure support follows my orders to the letter.
SAM sites detected. Keep the commander safe. I don't want to deal with the mess.
Glad we can sleep in for once.
Pull up.
Trigger, count. Rover 1 is exposed to anti-air fire. Find those targets.
Righto.
Another SAM spotted. Threat confirmed, eliminated. Roper 1 has taken some damage, but can still fly.
Damaged? Take out the goddamn missile and there'd be no damage. Use those flares now. Missiles are coming.
New SAM site. There are more than we expected. Bandits closing in. Determined hostile. Intercept.
The General Staff Office seems to have the impression you didn't kill Marley, Trigger. The coordinate destination will reopen your case. Successfully carry out this mission, and it'll give a good impression.
SAM site's located.
The radar's lit up. Fire. They know we're here.
Enemy transport and support spotted and confirmed.
Sending backup. Clear to engage.
Kilometers remain.
Escorts that go down do so in honorable service, worthy of my praise.
The next missile will down your craft, so watch your tail.
Bandog, it's up to you to make sure the support stays in the air.
Aim for the large transport.
Enemy destroyed. Continue with escort.
Flying as an escort makes me feel like I'm all tied down. It closed in fast. Unknown considered hostile. Respond to the situation. Protect Roper 1.
Spare 15 engage. Take down the bandits. Spare 2 support Roper 1 and escort the craft to safety.
We'll go. I was just about to ask if I could do that myself.
Trigger, keep that guy away from here. What is that thing? Keep it away from this aircraft.
lost, confirmed down. Clear skies all round. Spare 15. You did well. Wait, what now? 4 friendlies approaching.
Allied fighters.
This is the Air Force Base 444 Squadron. What is your affiliation?
That a guard dog out here barking? This is your old friend, Cyclops 1.
Cyclops Squadron? What are you doing here?
I was tracking an enemy prototype. I wouldn't be surprised if that dumbass from your side was the one who downed it.
This is Base Commander McKinsey. I apologize on behalf of that asshole. Well, he really screwed up. He didn't listen to my order to stand down. I'm certain he'll be punished for taking down the unidentified aircraft.
Give me a break.
Commander, if you would kindly accompany me to my base, we'll answer any questions you have there.
Actually, I'm grateful. Support was unreliable.
Respectfully, sir, I believe they got promise.
Attention, all defensive and air support teams. In order to get up and running, what I need most from you is time. As long as you can provide me that, my program will bring down the Arsenal bird.
That was Major Deanna McConey. I'm Warrant Officer Lehman, a specialist. We're now commencing the operation to destroy the Arsenal bird.
It's gonna be a long fight. Don't waste any ammo.
So that's Stonehenge, huh? It's bigger than I imagined. Uglier, too.
Look at that mess of cables. They're using generator trucks to run it.
Are we sure that thing's even gonna fire? Seriously, I mean, how old is it?
If it doesn't, then our luck is run dry. I'd get praying if I were you.
Well, if it works, it'll bring down even an Arsenal bird. Big if. And it'd have to hit.
Box 2.
Bandit acquired. Lock on.
Suspend your flight. Enemy air and ground forces approaching. Route gun.
Bender 5, hang in there. We're sending some your way. Just hold on. Cyclops Squadron, Strider Squadron, provide whatever support you can.
Missile.
Strider 1, missile away.
Box 2!
We gotta take out the enemy base no matter what. Send in the tanks.
Splash 1. Target locked.
Strider 1, target destroyed.
Powering main system. Cold boot. Skipping sequences 47 to 97.
Activating. Just need one shot.
This is Min here 7. We've linked up with ground and air support and are ready to drive the enemy back. Excellent.
Additional hostile inbound. Great timing.
Bombers, bearing 190. Stonehenge won't survive a bomb run. You have to stop them.
We've only got 60% green. We've got 30% yellow. 10% is red.
Well, it has been sitting here rusting away for the past 20 years. I'd say a few pushes are to be expected. Hurry and verify the reds and yellows.
Roger, let's get your sights on Stonehenge. We're heading to it. Allied aircraft, don't worry about us. Take out those bombers. Squidder, target acquired. It's right with the chasing down a spray like a hungry falcon. This is Min here 7. We are getting overrun. We need reinforcements.
One shot from Stonehenge. Man here 7 is hot. Let's go get him some help. Pay attention, break!
Breaking, enemy has a lock.
More bombers approaching. Intercept them now. Keep your eyes glued to the ground. Destroy those closest to our allies first.
Breaking. This is Min here 6. The enemy ground forces have been eliminated. Much obliged for the air support. All right, guys. This time you get a whole 45 seconds. Have some chow or something.
Threats.
Stonehenge is taking fire. Remember, the mission relies on this place staying pristine.
The enemy's getting desperate.
This operation is every bit as important to them as it is to us.
Missile hit.
Bandit my sights. You guys don't use fire. Your only focus should be Stonehenge.
Target acquired.
Men here 7 here. Enemy aircraft approaching. They're gonna clean this place out. If we don't get air support, we're dead. Missile inbound. Breaking. Breaking away. Our objective isn't wiping out the enemy forces. It's defending Stonehenge.
More hostiles advancing towards Men Here 6. Ground forces haven't noticed yet.
Let's take out the enemy while our friends are still on their feet.
Vehicle eliminated. The enemy isn't letting up. There's just no end in sight.
The enemy air support knows what it's doing. They're pounding us. Missile launched. Evade. Where's air support from Men Here 7? We can't do anything.
There's still a ton of AA weaponry on the ground as well. Keep your eyes open.
I'm taking fire. Still flight capable.
Locked on.
Strider 1, locked on target.
There's no way we're letting them take down Stonehenge.
More bombers. They're high. Altitude 8,000. Bearing 150.
The enemy's going all out, too. Let's fill them full of missiles before they get
Men Here 7. Enemy reinforcements. They're attacking in waves.
Railgun fires.
Railgun power supply is low. Damn it. Numbers aren't going up.
bypassing the auxiliary condenser.
Come on, damn it!
We can't even run. The enemy will shoot us in the back. Visual on target. Prepare for bombing run.
Take out all bombers.
Strider squadron.
Got the stars.
Never thought I'd see numbers like this. Guess that's how you know it's important. Looks like we're helping shape history here. Men here 7 looks bad. I don't think they're gonna make it.
Missile. Missile. Missile.
Bandit behind you.
Try to think like the enemy. You should know what their next action is. I got a bandit on lock.
They're running around like headless chickens. Why don't we put them out of their misery?
We're really counting on that air support.
Attention, all personnel! We have a change in the mission. We will now be using direct fire to shoot down the Arsenal bird. Listen, attack the central propellers. If you can destroy them, the Arsenal bird will slow down.
Strider 1, Cyclops 1. Air up and attack that propeller. Everyone else, defend Stonehenge from the UAVs.
Missile. Missile.
Wilco. Jaeger, you take the lead.
Missile.
It's ready against APS.
I'm going. Propellers are too much for Trigger alone.
Damn glory hound. Do your friggin' job!
Kim, we need someone who can take down those UAVs. It's up to you.
Back to the Arsenal bird's central propeller.
Trigger, do not foobar this.
Unbelievable. Stonehenge came with honest-to-goodness range tables? Only that curious.
Guess they knew what they were doing.
This whole operation is crazy. Well, only a total madman can bring down the Arsenal bird.
Give us the UTM coordinates under the Arsenal bird. We'll calculate the range. And I need you to be exact.
Cyclops 3 missile incoming. Look out!
I have to eject.
Just send a request for rescue. Conditions look grim. Expect some injuries.
He's gasping for air now. Just look to the left. 60 seconds remain.
Give me a second. It's been a while since I've used something this archaic. Does the angle on this table account for wind and Coriolis force?
Video get flag from here. Not much wind. Rest is just instinct.
All right, that takes care of the faith was well placed, Trigger.
Cyclops 4 has been hit. Are you all right?
Power level is at 80%. I'm fine. We can't lose any more allies.
Knock that off. Push yourself too hard and you're dead. Get back to base.
Wilco, over.
Arsenal bird propeller destroyed.
Power level is at 100%.
We've done our part. Stonehenge, shoot.
Understood. Begin final countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4,
Adjusting angle.
3, 2, 1. Fire! Hit, damn it!
Is it really over now?
Reporting mission success. Lehman, this victory belongs to you. That was a good lesson on the importance of manual control.
Today's MVPs are the LRSSG.
I'll say, especially those two lead birds. They're the Ocean Big Shots. We can win if we follow them. The Ocean Big Shots?
You mean the Ocean Big Shot?
Looks like we're on the offensive now. The enemy's defensive range dropped along with that Arsenal bird.
That just means more pie for us. Are we gonna eat the whole thing? Brass is always hungry for more. They've got a bottomless appetite. But enough about that. Get some rest now before the counterattack.
I was born downtown, in our capital. When I recall my homeland, my thoughts are filled with the sights and sounds of the city. But home means something different to each and every one of us. Therefore, I've decided to visit every place where our citizens call home. The Kingdom of Erusia is the land of diversity. Each region has its own unique and special culture.
Mihai's second sortie was designed to calculate how his physiology changed under the stress of combat. My job was to compare his performance as a pilot now to when he was younger and understand how his skills evolved. To tell you the truth, I'm not sure I wanted to know the answers anymore. For a man his age, Mihai's body was unbelievably resilient, remarkably flexible. His reflexes were as sharp as they ever were. Still, after all those years of flying in the outer layers of the atmosphere, even someone as strong as Mihai wasn't immune to the effects of the strain. The human body is fragile. It was not meant to handle the excessive amounts of radiation that constantly bombarded the stratosphere. For Mihai's second sortie, we used a flight suit that was still untested. He seemed fine on takeoff, but by the time he landed back at the base, he was clearly a mess. He got caught in a surprise dogfight with an especially stubborn enemy. It took a while for Mihai to bring him down.
Suspend mission.
The suit was ineffective. According to the data, it wouldn't let him fly to his full potential. A new flight suit was made to my exact specifications. When it finally arrived, Mihai's granddaughters glared at me with their disapproval. They blamed me for the pain their grandfather had to keep enduring. But Mihai remained stoic. He wasn't the type of man who cared about anything that happened here on the ground. I wasn't worried about it. I was confident the new suit would protect him thoroughly so that he could maneuver his plane any way he wanted. The moment he took off in his new flight suit, I realized what I had failed to before. Right after takeoff, as the wheels retracted, the plane suddenly arced up. It accelerated so quickly. I had never seen a plane move like that before. Mihai hit the high Gs multiple times before disappearing into the blue. The support team couldn't even keep up. And then I knew. I understood why he never seemed to care about restoring his stolen country back to its former glory, and why he didn't seem to care about anything that happened here on the ground. Of course, Mihai's kingdom was the sky.
Target locked. Target acquired.
Shaking off enemy lock! Missile in the air, evading. Friendly shot down! Got one on my ass.
2 minutes remaining.
Pilots will still enter here to back us up. Focus on the enemies in front of you. Our tank commander's down! Breaking from enemy! Watch 2! Locked on. The enemy's got a lock. Destroy the enemy's left wing, then let's make it with
1 minute remaining.
ahead, but still fighting. Strider 1, watch your tail.
Target acquired. Missile hit.
On my enemy's tail. Enemy sighting. Fox 2. Keep firing along the move!
30 seconds remaining.
This is HQ. Do whatever it takes to defend that bridge. Then we're to HQ. We need reinforcements at once.
Locked on.
You went into the clouds. Locked.
Missile away.
Missile inbound. Evade. Enemy's got a lock. The enemy is showing signs of fatigue. Deal the final blow.
All aircraft, listen carefully. This is Lancaster. We have the upper hand. The enemy headquarters is almost ours. Operation to eliminate all enemy satellites also underway. All going according to plan. The end of the war is in sight. Think of something you'd like to eat, guys? Because I'm buying.
Roger that.
Man, don't jinx us. You're right. New bogies. No, 5 Su-30s inbound.
It's Mr. Rex. What's going on here? I don't believe it. We just lost ship 3 and 4. We're taking heavy damage. It's like this monster is toying with us out there. We've got to do something.
LRSHE, we have an emergency order from Mission Command. Bring down Mr. X. I know it's a tall order, but HQ would ask if they didn't have faith in you.
There they are. It's the spurts. The 2 leaders are on a different level. Don't underestimate the rest of them either. This should prove to be trouble. What do you mean? It's just like you say. The enemy has experienced fighters in their midst.
Locked on. Don't go after them. 2 or more on each target.
Cyclops 3, Fox 2. One ship is sunk. Single fire coming back around.
Don't let Mr. X run wild. Friendlies are suffering heavy damage. Dodge that missile. Bandit has a lock on me.
Taking Bandit.
Locked on. Go down. Gotta regroup.
The escorts are seasoned.
Missile evaded.
I see they've still got a working pilot.
Cyclops 1, Fox 2.
Attack list. Target has been hit. Shaking bandit.
I'm on its back.
Damn. Even his lackeys fly like champions.
Soar 5 is hit. Sorry, I gotta bail out.
Mr. Rice is eating through the Ocean forces.
No. Who are these guys?
Fox 2.
What's this guy eating to fly like that?
Shaking bandit.
Strider 4, you have one on your tail.
Locked on. Target hit.
Target is in machine gun range.
Strider 1, missile inbound.
Not bad. They're as good as Wood says. Although their teamwork is somewhat lacking.
This is Cyclops 3. We've been hit. We gotta eject.
Took him out one by one.
Cyclops 3 is bailed out safely. Don't worry, he's gonna make it.
I've been spiked.
Listen, Trigger, real talk. If we keep this up, someone's not going home. I'll act as a lure. Meanwhile, you shoot down Mr. X.
What?
Alright, he grabbed a bait. Time to take him for a ride. Hey, this is one stubborn bastard. He's on my tail, but he won't fire. Waiting for the perfect shot, eh? Sorry, stranger, but my boys won't let you have it.
Enough with your air show, Wiseman. You're pushing it.
Oh, Cal, that's sweet. I never knew you cared. You're all grown up. I'll even let the wisecrack slide.
Hey, I'm being serious here.
Stay focused. We've still got a monster to slay.
Hold up. My radar has shown that an enemy aircraft has been stuck on Cyclops 1 for a while now.
Makes my blood run cold to even think if he came up with a 6. Shit!
He's refusing to fire. He wants a sure shot. Not too bad.
He's acting as a decoy. He has absolute trust in his allies, I see.
Missile hit. Fox 2.
You're quite the entertainer, but the show's over with this next shot. Wasn't a bad pilot.
Wiseman, missile closing!
I'll keep him on me. Just a bit longer.
Shit. Cyclops 1 is down.
Cyclops 1 is down.
Eject already, Wiseman!
I'm sorry, Count. Some speeding started.
Wiseman, stay strong. We're not done here. Cyclops 2, you've got the lead. Wiseman, shit! Negative, Cyclops 2, you're the lead. I can't do it. Trigger should take command. Duty is yours. It's impossible. Do it. Damn it. Cyclops 4, form an element. We need our top gun if we're gonna take out that bastard.
Look, Count.
Now I see why he's the king of the skies. Trigger's our only hope.
Missile evaded. Locked on. Fox 2.
Can Trigger handle this solo?
Scratch the last escort.
We need to be extra careful if we want to split up the 2 leaders. Eject while you can still talk.
Warning, enemy has a beat on you. Evaded. Missile hit.
Good job. All right.
Damn.
Now go finish the job.
Get Mr. X, Trigger. Shoot it down, Trigger. You can do it. In fact, you're the only one who can. My radar suddenly turned off.
What is it? Respond.
My data won't update. Damn it. What was that?
I've lost radar contact. What's up?
Look at the sky. Towards the sun.
What is that?
A star? No. Maybe an explosion?
This is Soul Squadron. Head home. It's not safe to stick around here if we lose our base.
Listen up. We've just lost our real-time connection with Mission Command. It's not just Mission Command. I'm not getting any response from outside our LOS. Farbanti's now under Ocean control. The operation was a success. We didn't get the orders that should have come after the operational success. We'll guide you to the scheduled airport. All aircraft, leave this airspace immediately.
Negative. They've got a debt to pay.
Count, we all feel the same way.
Shit.
So Wiseman died for nothing.
As far as the chaos we find ourselves in these days, it's difficult to say which side pulled the trigger first. Erusia deployed an automatic intercept system with drones. Osea implemented long-range attacks to bypass them. So Erusia decided to sabotage Osea's communications and navigation technology. Erusia couldn't launch a satellite themselves, but they were still able to hack the software of the Osean transmission and navigation systems. Before Osea even noticed, half of their satellites were hijacked. That's when things got ugly. In an attempt to knock out each other's capabilities, both forces launched fighters loaded with anti-satellite missiles at the same time. Only military satellites were targeted. However, their destruction created a debris field in orbit, which wiped out scores of other satellites, both private and government-owned. What kept the world relatively sane up to that point had been free-flowing data and information. But now, those were gone. All that remained was chaos and confusion. Government and civilian broadcasts and transmissions were cut off. The flow of information had ceased. Forces on both sides of the conflict now found themselves unable to communicate with their superiors. Many of the smaller countries annexed by Erusia and yearning for their independence seized the opportunity and started their own uprisings. As for why some of Osea's military decided to break off from the main force and continue on their own, I have no idea. Perhaps there was some sort of dispute over the chain of command. The continent that had once seen wars that were only fought between Osea and Erusia was now full of numerous conflicts between rival leaders vying for power. Insurgencies were everywhere. I even heard a rumor that a group of Osean convicts had rebelled. Rumors. It never ceased to amaze me that even at a crazy time like this, something as trivial as a rumor could find its way here. Communications from corporate were cut off. Apparently, the entire computer network was down. It was a wise decision to make our drones autonomous with AI instead of being radio-controlled. Wise and forward-thinking. Even with their GPS offline, they can still use their sensors to navigate as long as they're working properly. I'm sure the drones are still working perfectly, following their mission orders to the letter. I wish I could upload Mihai's new data to them. But without a connection, I can't upload the software to the active drones. The new ones we're making, though, there should still be enough time to upgrade those before they're activated. I'll be taking the data I've acquired away from the front lines now. Oh, and I'll be taking the girls, too. I told my assistant Masa it was time to get Mihai's granddaughters ready to leave here. She's not much older than the girls, but she has a way about her but I'm sure she won't have any trouble with them. I saw a plane flying off in the distance. I imagine it was looking for a safer place. The plane had a rose emblem on it.
This plane is carrying civilians. We have escort fighters, but we do not intend to engage in combat. Please stand down.
What's going on?
Try to get a little closer. Weapon use is prohibited.
What's going on? Dr. Schroeder!
Whoa. There's a girl on board?
He's not lying about carrying civilians.
No, unless she's a soldier.
Weapon use is prohibited. We've checked footage. It does seem to be a transport with escorts.
I repeat, this craft is carrying civilians. We are not here to fight.
Dr. Schroeder, tell me what's happening.
I'm sure I don't need to remind you, but do not attack the civilian liaison.
That's the aircraft my grandfather told me about. The one with the scratches.
There it is, the EASA liaison plane. They engage in witchcraft with Belkin technology. They're responsible for leading the military down the wrong path.
Wait, unknowns attacking the girl's plane.
Alma, hold on tight.
Lancaster, permission to engage.
Negative.
What?
They could be Osean fighters. ID them ASAP.
Shit.
Trigger, ID your targets before attacking. ID complete. They're Erusian fighters. What the hell is going on?
Stay sharp.
Uh-huh.
Right, I'm shooting him down. Any complaints?
Granted.
Wilco.
Wilco.
How dare you, Scorpion? I'm here to deal with that traitor.
Don't miss.
Aim carefully.
They're in my way.
Fox 2.
Bandit destroyed. Well done.
Bandit splashed.
Nice kill.
Good work. All hostile aircraft eliminated. The liaison is safe. Wait.
No, the escort fighter is... the drive. They're missing the drive.
What the hell? You gotta be kidding me. Liaison escort has a radar lock. They're targeting you guys.
What the hell? We were just helping them.
Erusian aircraft, this is AWACS Lancaster. Do not engage the liaison. Break off now.
Can you hear me on this channel, Osean craft? Those escort aircraft are drones. They are currently being operated autonomously. They are not being controlled by anyone. They are flying on their own volition.
What?
In that case, we have no choice but to shoot the aircraft down.
Unfortunately, yes.
We did what we could. Weapons free. You are cleared to attack the escort.
Wilco. Understood.
Wilco.
Can't afford the MQ-99's launch. Our commands are overridden. They must be accessing it remotely. Which unit is behind this?
I'm on my target's tail.
Hey, it's not our fault they won't listen to reason. Why build something like that? Whoever did is the king of all dumbasses.
To build something else entirely.
Fox 2.
Additional hostiles inbound. Great timing.
Son of a bitch.
Our drones headed this way. No. The escort must have used its remote activation rights to gain more allies.
Missile inbound. Drinking.
Missile evaded.
Agent, we don't have the drive they need.
Four bandits left.
It's not enough to be fully functional. There has to be a time when it should not function.
Two bandits left. Show them what you got.
Missile.
Warning, enemy has a beat on you. One bandit to go. Target acquired. Missile away.
I've got a sitting duck here. Strider 1, that's what I like to see.
Another story to tell my boy. Understood. All hostiles have been eliminated. Nice. The General's helicopter is flying safely outside Anchorhead Bay. All aircraft, RTB, mission complete.
All hostiles, huh?
General, the Ocean aircraft is here to pick us up. The approaching Ocean aircraft.
Losing his army? Elaborate. They stole our sealed orders.
It
should be a piece of cake.
Were you sent by the General's staff? No, we'd like you to send someone. I can't!
There are 3 scratches.
What does that mean?
The tail of that plane.
The island we went to was supposed to have been secured by the ground forces. They hadn't gotten a handle on things by the time we got there, so now we were stuck in the middle of a half-assed campaign. My job was to get the planes ready for combat, making repairs and handing them over to our troop of cons. Thing is, the enemy still had the hangars. The comms were still down, so none of us knew what the hell was going on. The last transmission I heard before everything went to shit was that some prisoners from an Ocean military penal unit rioted and managed to escape. They stole some jets and now they were flying around, taking out their former allies left and right. I wonder if any units like ours were out here, creeping around. Hearing the Ocean jets firing at each other overhead chipped away at morale. Since the radio was out, it was quiet. I liked it better that way. All I heard was the gunfire. Here we were, walking around carrying rifles. We were pilots, damn it. Friendly fire will probably kill us. You know things are desperate when the guards that used to lock us into solitary are now telling us it's better we all stick together. I guess they think our odds of surviving this war are better that way. After walking for miles across the battlefield, we came across the wreckage of a plane. Passenger, not military. I knew that rose. It was an Erusian liaison plane. The guard's dogs smelled something and took off. They led us to a cliff. And the bodies.
Today, I lost everything. When Osea attacked our capital, my father, a man who was never really suited to being the king, was killed. I was to be flown out of the war zone to safety, but the plane was shot down by rebels. The entire crew was killed in the crash. Soldiers appeared and one shot at me. My dog went after him and shot him to pieces. He was my best friend. After all those speeches I gave about working together for peace, I thought everyone felt the same as I did. I'm sure the soldier who shot at me knew I was the Princess of Erusia. He was Erusian too. More soldiers have come. Now, there is no one left to protect me. I am so numb, I cannot move. I watch as one of their dogs approaches. It sniffs mournfully at my dead friend. I wonder if it grieves for him as much as I do. I can barely think. I feel weaker by the minute. I don't know who these soldiers are with, but I managed to take a sip of the water they gave me.
How long have you been here?
Somehow, I muster the courage to answer the woman's question. I tell her I've been there 3 days. They gather around me with grim looks on their faces. What would they do if they knew I was the Erusian princess? After searching the cockpit of the plane, the woman who spoke to me before came back to me.
This is an air-to-ground tactical radio. It still works!
I noticed she walked with a limp. She knelt down next to me and asked her companions to give me some food. And then, very softly, she said,
You see, I used to listen to your broadcasts, Your Royal Highness. Just what did you see here?
That's them. All aircraft, we just updated your threat matrix via data link. Take out those targets.
Don't miss. We don't want to hit the pretty ladies down there.
Missile.
Hurry!
Missile. Missile. Missile.
Strata 1, target acquired.
Good job! The enemy tensed their pits. I don't think I could even do anything to that scrap.
Everyone knows it. No other reason.
Missile. 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 Missile.
That takes care of them. No civilian casualties? Nice going. Do you hear the singing?
Beginning terminal countdown. Pressure stable. Cooling system is on.
Broadcaster, a promise is a promise. Here's the intel. I heard it from an Erusian soldier that defected. The supply ships will be launched soon.
Yeah, that is valuable information.
That doesn't sound good.
But can it be trusted?
Not sure. Heard it from a man who said he wanted to atone for his sins. Up to you to trust him or not.
Understood. Good luck.
Releasing safety. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Launch. 1, 2, 3. The mass driver is accelerating.
The supply ships have been launched from the mass driver. If the supply ships make it to the arsenal bird, they'll be able to resupply it. They may be loaded with new weaponry that we don't even know about. We have no choice but to take down the supply ships before they can get within the arsenal bird's air defense network. You've got to hurry or you're not going to make it. 3 minutes to the enemy's air defense network.
Missile. Missile.
All aircraft, remain on high alert. We got bandits incoming on radar. You're gonna have to forget about them for now. Focus on destroying that supply ship first.
We're sitting ducks like this.
Let the supply ship get too far away, we'll never be able to catch it.
Which one first?
Don't try to follow after the supply ships. Stick close to trigger. Did you see that explosion? Looks like that's one of them down.
Remember, there are 2 supply ships out there. Hurry up and shoot the other one down.
So they're trying to beat that giant monster of a bird. We can't let them complete their mission. They're forced to turn their backs to us. Now I'm looking for them.
We've recalculated the remaining time. 2 minutes to the enemy's air defense network.
We're still in this.
Seconds to the enemy's air defense network.
Don't lose them.
Strider 1, bandit splashed.
These guys continue pursuit of the supply ship.
60 seconds remain.
These guys have a head start.
Missile. Missile.
Hope you're all enjoying the pretty fireworks. This thing had any windows, we could have seen it for ourselves.
Missile.
Nice work, team.
Missile. We found a boat, then sailed away from the island. We had to. We didn't belong there. The new guy's name was George. I noticed when the anarchist said his name, he said it with a thick Belkan accent. How did you know that he was from Belka?
Well, both my parents were from Belka, so...
You never told me that. They say that Belkans are known for their conspiracies.
That's just a stereotype. Now, I simply stated my honest opinion and was thrown in jail for it.
The princess sat there looking miserable. That was a dumbass stunt she pulled back there, but it got us on this boat. Take a look at that. This ship is heading for a single rope that's hanging down from the sky. Do you know how far the end of that rope reaches?
Outer space.
No. It is a direct connection to the very potential of mankind itself. Or at least it was until war erupted.
It's my strong belief that the rope might be connected to a very distant, faraway source of great conflict and strife. Even long before the war, the whole world started falling apart once Harling began trying to build it. I often wonder what was going through Harling's mind when he was trying to destroy the very thing that so many people were sacrificed in order to create.
Sacrificed? What do you mean?
Have you seen all of those countless old space shuttles on Tyler Island that are no longer in use?
Yeah. I always thought of them as a good source of scrap. They're an obsolete technology that was abandoned during the construction of the space elevator. Which would mean that if the space elevator was destroyed, it would be that much harder for mankind to reach the stars. Until we find another way.
But even then, Harling still went ahead and tried to destroy it. At the cost of his own life.
That's not the way I heard it. What I heard was that he sacrificed himself to protect the tower from an incoming missile.
Oh, I was told he tried to fly his ship into the tower in order to destroy it.
I wonder which story is true, Your Royal Highness.
I don't know. Looking at it objectively, it's reasonable to believe that Harling had both options before him.
When it comes to which one you think he took, I guess it's like a mirror.
Yes, it is. It's like a mirror looking into your own soul, based on whichever choice you believe it was. At the moment, though, I can only see darkness. I think that thing should be destroyed.
High-speed protection launched enemy aircraft.
I'm testing this aircraft. You must find your own sky. We can still help you. Don't waste your life. Dedicated to reclaiming that which you call home. Furthermore, you must find someone to guide you. I'm not that person. Yummy. Most Legion squad will be retreating. Those fighting below are advised to temporarily withdraw. Don't die. As long as we're alive, our hopes and dreams live on.
Hey, look at the color of that plane. Damn, that's the flames of hell. Time for payback.
Negative. It's no good. I can't get close enough.
Leave it to Trigger. The rest of us will just get in the way. The rest form a perimeter to catch whatever slips through. Welcome. That just cost us our lives.
Hit on unidentified aircraft. The enemy's mobility is still unfazed. Keep up the attack. Unidentified aircraft. Land your plane and surrender. Why do you feel the need to continue fighting on your own?
That's funny. It seems like one of the pilots is also fighting alone.
He's not alone. Look around you.
I see. Perhaps it would have been best to entrust the future to pilots like that. Let me test him then, to see if he's truly worthy.
That bastard's going in a way that minimizes the damage even when he's hit. Keep firing those missiles until you blow him to pieces.
Someone to guide us. I can't think of anyone other than you. Being together with me now taught me something closer. Drone fighters don't perform. They replace the cosmos of the skies. And they're what the Legion Air Force should be fighting against.
Hey, look. It's like the sky's been sliced wide open. Keep still there, unit public maintenance will be power at 50%.
Targeting correction, 0.02 degrees. Targeting correction.
The railgun is firing again. Bad news. Its accuracy is increasing with each shot. Take it down as quickly as possible.
Cooldown complete.
No, that's not it. That will not do.
Railgun has been fired.
Not bad. This weapon is not enough to take down 3 strikes. This aircraft is my body. If they are not enough, then I must put my soul into it. There are pilots like you in every generation, and I found every last one of them. Beyond the limits of machine assistance, I see. You're quite the entertainer, but the show's over with this next shot.
Missile away.
Fox 2. You're still not fast enough.
I knew it. It's a hit. The unidentified aircraft is going down.
You got him. Trigger and splash the bandit.
Can you hear me? Pilot with the 3 strikes. This was all due to my ego. I unleashed pure chaos upon this world, just so I could keep my wings. Put a stop to the drone production.
Is this a message to Trigger? What does it mean?
I don't think this war is over just because we shot down Mr. X.
Yeah, it's gonna take something else entirely to end this thing. I just don't know what.
When we got to the mainland, we found the space elevator's support facility. I guess this was the factory where they built the gigantic structure the elevator traveled in. There was this little girl sitting in front of a mural. When the princess saw her, she shuddered like she'd seen a ghost. The girl had a stuffed animal. This was the day after the shit went down at Tyler Island. She walked right up to the princess, took her hand, and led her into the factory. One thing's for sure, they knew each other. The factory'd been converted to a production line for Erusian drones. It was fully automated and chugging along, making drone after drone after drone. Once they got inside, the princess stopped and just stood there. Another girl was there with a man in a lab coat. He was trying to use his keyboard, but she wouldn't let him. She took a data chip and threw it on the ground. Then she walked over to us and took the gun from the prison guard's holster. She pulled the trigger and destroyed the chip. Later, I found out that the girl with the gun and the one with the stuffed animal were sisters. They were also the granddaughters of Mihai A. Shalaji, the legendary pilot. Gramps used to talk about him. He said Mihai was the top ace from 2 wars ago. Know any Belkans? Because this guy was a Belkan, and they love to stir shit up. Pitting nations against other nations is a particular favorite of theirs, along with developing hyper-advanced technology.
That's right. I'm Belkan, born and raised. My country is gone now. Rather than surrender to its enemy, Belka detonated 7 nuclear weapons on its own soil. My people scattered around the globe, living in the shadows of other countries. We had a new purpose: to breed wars. The theory was that through war, we could achieve our destiny and our revenge. I had just finished inputting Mihai's data when his granddaughter came in. She destroyed the only copy I had of the information I squeezed out of him. The girl loved Mihai. No one knew more than her just how hard I pushed her grandfather for that data, how much I made him sacrifice in the process. I promised his granddaughters that his efforts were not in vain, that it could end this terrible war. But in the end, it only caused more chaos and despair. We were responsible for all this damage, all this tragedy. Now, we were going to pay for it. The Erusians, once our allies, would see to that. I had lost the drive to continue my work, even before I noticed Mihai's granddaughters eyeing me with suspicion that one day. I should have stopped then, for all our sakes. Mihai's granddaughter tossed the gun aside. She said if she resorted to killing, she'd just end up like the rest of us. And by us, she meant everyone, including the princess. Like me, the princess was afraid to look into the girl's eyes. She knew that by encouraging her people, she kept the war going. Mihai and his granddaughter were victims of it, and now, they too were paying the price.
Is this for Belka? Or for Erusia? My grandfather had only one wish: to continue soaring through the endless skies. That was the only place where he felt alive. But I don't even have a country to call home, let alone the sky. The Black Forest, the lake, they are no longer mine. Even though those lands were once cherished by my late mother. We have to learn to put that sense of nostalgia behind us and behave like mature adults.
homeland. She's right. It feels so far away now. The woman with the rifle approached me. She was focused on more pressing issues.
I checked the computer. All of the data on the legendary Ace had already been installed.
No, I pulled it before it was completed. However, there are 2 aircraft that are already scheduled to be manufactured based on that data.
We must destroy the factory.
This isn't the only one. There are more facilities just like it, and the 2 planes containing the data will be manufactured at one of those facilities.
So, this place runs on solar power that the space elevator generates, right? How about the others? We can destroy the space elevator and cut the power to them. First things first, let's take this one out.
I'll show you which locations to target.
I stood there, thinking about that mural by the factory's entrance. Harling commissioned it to be painted. I realized that in the background, behind the dancing figures, the artist had painted several space elevators. I understand now. The space elevator wasn't designed to exploit Erusia after all.
Good. And afterwards, we'll bring down the space elevator itself. No matter why it was built, right now, it's the root of this chaos.
I wonder...
Yes?
I wonder which path you would choose when looking at Harling's mirror.
The UAVs are dropping altitude fast. Wait, they're down!
The drones are acting crazy. Are you seeing this? The drones are falling one after another. They've completely lost control.
Got a hostile material! You're too far out! Try to run the only one that can take it on.
Some propeller confirmed destroyed.
Don't let the UAVs distract you. The Arsenal bird is our priority. Does this really think you can beat a human pilot?
Both main propellers have been stalled.
Come on, you drone. You're facing me now. Don't let them anywhere near him. Understood? You can do it. There's no way it isn't damaged.
Ammunition 0.
Go, Trigger. Leave these chumps to us. Ground forces' efforts will be for nothing. We have to take down the target by any means. Trigger got a sub-propeller. You're getting the hang of this, Trigger. The main propeller is moving again. Just how hard is that thing? Time to destroy the lieutenant's base. Say what? If we destroy the docking modules, the supply unit will break off the first word. That'll be the lieutenant base. Light on fire, and we can cut that
trigger. Let's do this. Is he really that good of a pilot? I bet on it. Besides, if he thought it was impossible, he wouldn't have said anything.
Watch out! The drones are falling! Refugees. Everyone calm down. You want to get yourselves killed? George! Tabloid! Get back here! I can't leave Uncle to die. Fine, fine! Get her! But be quick about it!
Is everything okay? The drones are acting odd.
Run! Run! Careful!
Docking module destroyed. That's 2 of them.
Don't let yourself be distracted. Just focus on what you need to do.
Is everything okay?
Cosette, some people were crushed. But the kid Tabloid went after his safe. He ran that distance with a girl in his hands.
Good. What about Tabloid? Is he safe?
George and the girl were saved. They were saved. Both of them.
Roll out to Strider 1.
Locked on, bandit. Enemy on your back.
Total 3 strikes. We illusion pilots should know better than anybody that that's the right call.
There's a hit on the laser cannon. Trigger's hammering it.
Watch it. Enemy has a lock on you.
You guys, who let us your family? Drake 1, you're too close to Strider 1. Get out of the way.
Strider 2, Bugs 2.
Remember, our target is the Arsenal bird.
Didn't miss. I have a solid lock.
Docking module destroyed. 1 left.
Nicely done. This'll be a good story to tell my son. Got this one down to my sights.
Get behind 3 strikes.
Enemy on your back. It's a big base. They got a lock on me.
Strider 1. Target acquired.
That plane's starting to ice up.
Missile away.
You dodged it. Locked on. Hostile's got a lock. Watch your tail, Sol 2. Got this one down to my sights.
Locked on.
You can really fly like this in the clouds? You're mine now! That plane's starting to ice up.
Target acquired. Target hit. Laser cannon confirmed destroyed. That eliminates 1 major threat.
Thanks. That thing almost cooked my tail.
Cyclops 2.
2. Strider 2, check your 6. Enemy on your back.
Locked on.
I've got a sitting duck here.
Strider 1, missile launched.
I can't shake him. Locked on. Sub 3, Fox 2.
All targets have been destroyed. The supply unit is ready to fall off.
Yeah! Good job.
You should be able to see the rectenna where the supply unit was. Destroy that, and even the mighty arsenal bird is sure to feel it.
Good luck. Leave it to Trigger.
Don't let us down, Strider 1. Clear a path for Strider 1.
Leave the big fish to Trigger. We'll take down the UAVs.
We're counting on you.
Got this one down to my sights. Locked on. Sub 3, Fox 2. You're mine now. Locked on.
Missile away. Target acquired.
Enemy on your back. Locked on, bandit. Cyclops 3, Fox 2.
I'm on his back.
Get you, pal. Enemy on your back. You're mine now. Locked on. Hostiles got a lock.
Fox 2.
Fox 2. This is Soar 2. Locked on enemy.
Target acquired. Missile hit.
Attack missed. Cyclops 3, Fox 2.
remaining.
Locked on.
locked on.
Lieutenant makes you to confirm destroyed.
Forecaster! Oh my god! The arsenal bird is on fire!
Trigger, break off. Arsenal bird is losing altitude rapidly.
Arsenal bird is down!
Longcaster, can you estimate the point of impact?
Don't worry, looks like it'll be open water. All aircraft, avoid the target's path.
That's the last of the rooms. Even in death, that thing is intimidating.
Everyone, can you see this? These people here were alive up until a few moments ago. My friend was here. Can you see this? This is just one of the many sides of war and what it does.
All Erusian soldiers around the space elevator. Surrender now. We will not attack. We can hold them all to just the porter lives. No units surrender. You guys better not throw away your lives either.
Wait there, Princess. We'll get you down. Don't worry about me. Please just take care of the refugees. I'll parachute down. What?
Warning, incoming bogey.
Are those the drones we saw at that factory? I'm coming down. I'll see you on the ground.
No, wait!
Enemy on my 6! Those guys are bad news. Trigger, boss, do something!
Strider 2, missile inbound! Cosette! What?
This isn't the time for that!
Cosette!
Avril, they're headed this way. Get the refugees to safety now.
Strider 2, you're hit. Are you alright?
Still breathing. I won't be flying much longer, though.
There's an Osean carrier a few kilometers to the west. It ran aground and was abandoned. It won't be easy, but it's the only place you got.
Trigger, escort your wingman. Let's get to that carrier. That's all we can do.
Hell, I can't just snap my fingers and make a plane. Believe me, I wish I could. Right now, we needed one. Bad. When we were coming over on the boat, I remember seeing an aircraft carrier. That gave me an idea. The Admiral Anderson. The name of an old sailor. When the first drone started attacking, the ship wasn't ready for battle yet. It was still in the dock, getting all rigged up. So they rushed to get her ready. I know about Anderson. In the previous Osean War, he was the commander of a ship that sent out the last fleet of jets. They say the deck was sloping so bad as it sank, the last plane barely made it off. Those fighters ended the war. That story gives me a little bit of hope, especially at a time like this. We're all in the same boat, like it or not. If this war keeps going on like it is, it'll be the end of everything. The military loaded this thing to the rafters with planes. Some were fighters that were going to be delivered to bases in occupied territory. It was hit before it could complete the mission. Jackpot. The hangars were loaded with goodies. This scrap queen's got work to do.
Can I use this? Hey, can you hear me? That craft is in peak condition. I even buffed up the canopy for a nice shine, so you can really see the sky. care, Trigger. When you get back, let me know what you saw.
Let me see that. Trigger, wish I could have flown with you.
We've got quite a few Erusians with us.
Lucians are sticking around, too. I don't care what country anyone's from. What counts is knowing who the real enemy is. Right, guys?
Affirmative. And I think everybody here knows the score. We all know who to follow. Commence mission. All aircraft follow trigger.
Roger that. Understood.
All right.
Understood. Roger.
The space elevator is able to broadcast and communicate. With the information infrastructure down, it's the only place capable of wide area data transmission. The drones are waiting for it to power up again.
Clever little bastards.
Goal leader to Lancaster. UAV is confirmed in direction of travel. Engaging two bandits.
All aircraft converge on Skull Squadron. Surround and shoot them down.
Strider 3, copy. Let's do it, Hushin.
Wilco.
UAV reacting. Damn, they're fast. All aircraft stay sharp. Intercept now. The UAVs are equipped with laser weaponry. Watch where their nose is pointing.
Skull 2, get out of there! This is Skull 2! I'm hit! My engine!
Salamander 3, Skull 2, lost. Damn it, that was quick.
I've never seen anyone fly this fast. Provide support!
Friendly lost. Another confirmed down.
Damn it. Missile hit on UAV. Outstanding work, Trigger.
You've bruised it. Don't stop now.
Human unit move just like Mihai. They're like complete copies of Mihai. There seems some serious traits. See where it sounds like you two in it. Another hit. You're the only one getting anywhere out here.
Attention all aircraft. Launch detected from UAV. They're small drones.
You guys have quite the bag of tricks.
One small drone is down. Strider 1 got it. Strider 1, watch your tail.
Oceans and Erusians, let's fly high on. Go down.
I've never seen movement like that. Rifle 2, do not try to follow the drone. Stick with Strider's lead plane.
Gotta shake him before he fires. He can dodge that. Fucking do.
Don't let up, people.
You're kidding me. They're shooting down missiles with their lasers. How are we supposed to bring it down? Enemy hit. Strider 1 got it.
There we go. One down. Target is losing altitude rapidly.
That enemy is black smoke billowing from it. I saw it myself. 3 strikes is a real deal. 1 plane left.
Soul 2, evade!
Perfect movement. Just like Mihai.
Soul 2 lost. There's another one too.
Enemy's gonna lead. Damn it.
Friendly lost. The Salamander. Rifle 3 has been shot down. We lost another one.
Moved in the UAV's formation. This could be our chance.
Strider 1, target acquired.
He's not moving like a machine. Human could fly like that either.
Target in gun range.
missile hit. That one looks like it hurt. Trigger has scored a kill. Hell yeah! You finally did it! Way to shoot, Ace. Look, it discarded its wings. What the? Looks just like the UAV the Trigger shot down at his crew rest. Is that the prototype that Wiseman was talking about?
Crap, I can't break this rock.
This is Delta Mobile. We're on our way back from our 7th mission to the asteroid belt.
I'd be avenged for you, too.
Direction! That spider wants missile!
It's still flying, but it can't keep this up forever. Just finish it off, Trigger! Hold on a sec. Is it just me, or is that thing trying to read Trigger's reactions? It's observing Strider. It's like it's trying to learn from him.
Look at it go. Getting rid of the shell must have made it lighter.
Box 2.
One target left. We can do this.
No special weaponry remaining.
To learn to fly like Trigger, who's gonna shoot him down? Not to mention they can manufacture a lot of them, too.
Locked on bandits. Attacking.
We've got too reliant on technology.
Unable to acquire status updates from Erusian aircraft via data link. All aircraft rely on visual confirmation.
That's right. That's how it used to be done.
UAV is down. Radar signal is lost.
No stopping. Showing us how it's done.
That was definitely the most intense thing I've ever been in. Can't wait to tell my son about it.
The space elevator is just powered up. Looks like we made it in just the nick of time. Fortunately, you've prevented data that may have included Trigger's flying style from leaking. I've got a special bottle of wine for occasions like this. What do you say we open it?
Can you hear me? There's still one drone left.
Who the hell is that? More importantly, I thought Trigger destroyed all the drones.
It's thrown away its wings, yet it's still flying. Can anyone hear me? That aircraft needs to be taken care of.
She's right. I see something on the radar. The UAV is alive and kicking.
The UAV went into the undersea tunnel. That tunnel leads to the space elevator.
Count? Where are you going? We rely on Trigger too much. He's gonna need help.
You can't be serious, Count.
Yeah, well, you had no problem with Trigger doing the same thing.
Trigger's different.
We'll see.
You damn fool.
Don't worry. I learned something from my last squadron. Stick with Trigger, and you'll make it.
Count, give me your status.
Alive.
Excellent, so you're both okay.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. What makes you think that?
No time to explain. The radio will cut out soon. It'll take a short time for the drone to send over the data. You need to destroy it as fast as you can.
There it is. UAV spotted. We finally found it. I heard some static when the gate closed. Do you think the UAV is operating the gates? Well, there goes our only way out. I thought we were gonna pull this off after making it through that maze. Don't worry. I'll think of something. I'll find us a way out. They're waiting for you outside. I'm not gonna let you drop here. No sign of the drone. Did it take another path? Doesn't matter. We know where it's going. We can catch it. Is it my engine? Definitely feels like it's my engine. I'm fine. I can still fly. My rudder's acting up. It's hard to keep level. I'm not getting much thrust, but I'll be okay. Drone is turning. We'll send its payload. Shoot it down, Trigger. That's right. We're going home. I thought of a way out of here. The space elevator. The windbreak is hollow, and there's no ceiling all the way up.
Stall warning.
Not sure if my bird can handle it, though. Fly! I know you can make it! I'll attempt a belly landing. Get out of here! Everyone's waiting for you! Into the middle column. That'll lead inside the windbreak.
Stall warning. Stall warning.
I wanted to wait until I had less fuel, but I have no choice. Attempting to land. I don't think my plane will make it. Anyway, here goes. Come on, baby, stay with me just a bit more.
Should we send in an evac team?
We can't give up. We have to wait.
Can you hear me? We're all waiting. A world of darkness needs a light to shine. We're waiting for that beacon of light.
Look, it's Trigger. Strider 1 has returned to radar.
I did it! That's our Trigger!
He's a damn hero!
No doubt. You're better than me.
Where's Strider 2? Damn it. Does anyone have eyes on Count?
Wish y'all could have seen that.
You damn fool. What's your position?
Watching Trigger climb. I guess it's my fate to watch from down below.
Yeah, well, we're all in the same boat there.
Yeah, well, I guess we are.
We're sending help. Give us your coordinates.
Directly under the space elevator. Elevation is minus 500 meters.
Minus?
Hey, Trigger. You dumbass. Tell me something. What color's the sky up there?
We're on our way back from our 7-year mission to the asteroid belt. I can't tell you how proud I am to be the first to land at
Wait,
this
what was that
spaceport.
transmission?
This is Captain Kay Nagase of the spaceship Pilgrim 1. The ocean of stars in our galaxy is finally within our reach. To the pilot who generously gave this spaceship a place to dock, we are forever grateful. The universe lies ahead of us, waiting to be discovered. And now, at last, we have a gateway to ascend to it, over and over again.
It's all coming together for me. Today was the day, the moment of her return.
I salute the pilot who gave us all a future.
To skies unknown, the path to mankind's vast future remains standing, Granddad. The refugees built the settlement for themselves at the base of the space elevator. A humanitarian mission from Yuktovania airdropped some supplies for them again today. Thanks to the princess, the whole world was pitching in to help these people. Handing out the relief supplies would have been a perfect gig for that anarchist dude. But since he's dead now, the job went to the guy from Belka, George. I guess Tabloid got that new system he wanted in the end. Mihai's granddaughters are helping out too. Mihai. That cranky old geezer's here with us too.
I never wanted to create anything, and now here I am, clinging to life. Watching as my grandchildren and their generation make a new future for themselves and the world. Is this my punishment then? All I do is lie here, wasting away. I'll never know the freedom of flying the open skies ever again. I've been grounded, and my wings have been clipped.
You know what having peace in the world means? It's being able to die in your own bed at a ripe old age. Peace is what those girls are working so hard for here. We got a bunch more refugees today. And the princess? She's looking to the stars. Dark blue, to the heavens and beyond.
Can you hear me?